Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Palm Springs Stadium. We're here for the third day of action in the PSCL, and this morning we've got a treat for you. Today is going to be a matchup between the Grizzly and the Bombers. This is Sam Walters, here for the call all day solo. Steve is out calling a game over on the other side of California today. Best of luck to Steve and his high school team in the championship game right now. So this morning we have the Grizzly as the away team, Bombers serving as the home team for today. They step out on the field in their yellow and black uniforms. The Grizzly in the on-deck circle preparing to face off against Ian Wheel, the pitcher for the Bombers today. Right-handers warming up as we speak. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Grizzly this morning. Starting off, it'll be Jude Luttrell, the right fielder, hitting first. Hayden Huff, the shortstop, he'll be batting second. Michael Macias batting third. He's third baseman. The first baseman, Mark Kirkland, power roster native. Mark Kirkland will be batting fourth today. Connor Hennings, the center fielder, is batting fifth. Jason Doran, the second baseman, is batting sixth. The catcher, Irvin Bounds, is going to be batting seventh. The DH, Ethan Rosario, batting eighth. Chris Aguilar, the left fielder, batting ninth. Jake Biscalou is another one of these guys that splits time between the power and the PSCL. He'll be the extra hitter batting 10th. That's right, 10 batters. If you're just joining us for broadcast here in the PSCL, there are 10 batters. We have an extra hitter along with the DH in the PSCL games. We want to get as many guys repetitions as possible, get as many guys to have an at-bat as we can. So as you can see, we're doing a little bit more field work, getting the mound ready. Looks like Ian Wheel is about to step back up there. They're just getting a little more dirt out there. Couldn't hurt. So again, it'll be the first three here in the top of the first. Luttrell, Huff, and Macias. Should it go any further? Kirkland, Hennings, Doran, Bounds, Rosario, Aguilar, and Biscalous to round out the order for the Grizzly. Now, we saw the Bombers here yesterday in Palm Springs Stadium. But this will be the first time that we get a look at the Grizzly and their lineup here in Palm Springs Stadium. All of our games are splitting time between our second field and our main stadium here, the Palm Springs Stadium, where our Palm Springs Power play. We've got action right now at our second field, the turf field. Across the way, you can see it out there. Wave to them out in right center. Had a game start over there. They went underway at 8:30. That was between the Lumberjacks and the Snowbirds. Got to see both of those teams. Lumberjacks actually played 2 games on the first day, so hopefully they can get used to only having to play one here now. I assume that they're very happy to have to be able to stay out of the heat. That first day was an unlikely and rare circumstance where we had every single team in the PSCL playing in a singular day. So the Lumberjacks were the team that got to play twice. Since we have 13 teams, we had one that had to face off against another team, and they got to play one at 8:30 and one at 6 o'clock. So Ian Wheel's going to step back on the mound. Looks like he's happy with where that is now. So while we have some time, let's take a look at the defensive alignment here. In the first for the Bombers, from left to right, Brandon Brown is manning left today. Out in center field is Nick Schnapp. Right field, another power roster member, Justice Lucas. From third to first, Alex Betancourt is over on the hot corner. Matthew Gonzalez deep in the hole at short. Deshaun Johnson, another power roster. He'll be manning second base, and Gary Peralta's at first. Vinny Alfino is going to do the catching behind the plate, and he's receiving the ball from Ian Wheel. They make the throw down, and we're almost ready to be underway at Palm Springs Stadium for the first game of 2 today in the PSCL, followed by 1 tonight with the Palm Springs Power that face off against the Arroyo Seco Saints for the second time, including a 2-game weekend series. And now it looks like we're almost ready here. Jude Luttrell stepping into the batter's box, the lefty. He's got a white helmet. The Grizzly in the green tops, white bottoms. Bombers in the yellow. And here comes the first pitch from Wheel. That ball's in dirt. Counts 1-0. Wheel kicks and delivers his next pitch. That's a called strike. Counts 1-1 to Littrow. Jude Littrow out of Wabash Valley College. The 1-1 is fouled off on the third baseline, but there'll be no chase from third baseman Alex Betancourt. Littrow's a rising sophomore out of Solon, Ohio. That's right outside of Cleveland. The 1-2 is Sky back behind the plate. Again, the Betancourt gets chased, but he can't quite get there. That'll roll off to the side, nearly into the Bombers' dugout before it's saved. Littrow in high school. He's a rising sophomore at this point, but in high school, the number 6 outfielder in Ohio. Next pitch is smacked into center field. That's going to be a base hit to lead off the game. Jude Littrow on board. Seen a lot of these rocket singles up the middle so far. Guys starting to get in field for the bases again. Never can go wrong getting the leadoff man on. And the man responsible for getting him over or possibly in is going to be Hayden Huff, the shortstop, batting second. Throw over a little bit late. Littrow in there safely. Hill working from the stretch now. His first pitch, the fastball high, counts 1-0. Littrow taking his lead at first base. Gary Peralta holds him on. Another throw over is not in time. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there, counts 1-1, evens it up to Huff. Wheel sets to the belt. Next pitch is a good breaking ball. That's a called strike. Counts 1-2. He works ahead to Hayden Huff. Here's the 1-2. Nearly offers at it, but he'll let it go, and that's going to go low and outside. Counts 2-2 now to Huff. Another throw over. Not in time. Wheel took a look over and decided to step off and try to make the pickoff over. Saw Littrow taking a few more steps than he'd like him to. Deuces are wild. Counts 2-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball lined into right center field, and that's going to be another base hit. So 2 men aboard now for the Grizzly, and they're cooking here in the top of the first. Opposite field single for Huff with a runner Littrow at first. Gary Peralta had to hold him on, so that one was able to sneak into right field. Justice Lucas able to pick it up cleanly. So now 2 runners are aboard for the third baseman, Michael Macias. First pitch breaking ball in there for a call strike, another good one. Next pitch is skied down the first baseline. Peralta gets chased, and he's going to make the catch. So a foul pop out is going to retire Michael Macias for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the first baseman, Mark Kirkland. If you've tuned into the broadcast before, you probably know that name. Splits time with the Power in the PSCL, plays games in the morning here with the Grizzly, and then goes and he'll play with the Power. He started last night at first base for the Power. Power edging the Saints 4-3. About this start for the Power again. You know, come off of a 2019 season where he only lost 2 games and won the championship. Next pitch from Wheel is in the dirt. Runners are going to stay. Coming off that 2019 season where they went 41-2, did not lose a game in their conference, and won the championship at the end of the season. And 2 years later, here we are, and they're off to a strong 4-0 start. The offense has been rocking and rolling. 26 runs in the first 4 games. Next pitch, fastball, catches the inside corner. Great pitch there from Wheel. Throws Kirkland. Kirkland from University of Redlands. 6'5", 235. Big guy in left-hand batter's box. He wags the bat. There's going to be a throw to second, and they've got him out. Drew Luttrell linked too far off the second base bag, and he got picked off by Wheel. One-six put out makes it 2 outs here in the top of the first. That erases the runner in scoring position, so Ian Wheel has worked himself out of the most likely of circumstances for the Grizzly to score a run here. After giving up 2 straight singles to lead off the game to Luttrell and Huff, he works a pop out from Macias and then gets a pickoff with Kirkland up to bat. And now Kirkland goes down 0-2. Pardon, 1-2. Two outs, 2 strikes in the top of the first. Here's a pitch to Kirkland. Breaking ball just a bit low. Boy, oh boy, catcher Alfino, Vinny Alfino wanted that one. He gave that one a big frame. Not able to steal the strike, so the count's 2-2 now to Kirkland. Another throw back to first. Wheel's got that pickoff move working early. He's been successful once, nabbing Luttrell at second. But Huff hangs in there at first. He takes his lead. Here's the 3-2. Runner was going, obviously. That one's fouled back to the screen. The payoff. Pardon, that was the 2-2 pitch. So now it's the break even to Kirkland. I'm the only one in the press box this morning, so pardon me for delays in a call or delays in the scoring. I'll be serving as our official scorer as well this morning. The 3-2 fastball nearly catches the inside corner, but that's going to be a walk for Mark Kirkland. So Kirkland earns his way on base. That's the first walk given up by Ian Wheel. That'll bring it down to Connor Hennings, the center fielder. Runners at first and second. Hayden Huff is at second. He's singled. Mark Kirkland at first. He just walked. Here's the first pitch to Hennings. It is laced into right field. Again, another base hit. Coming around to score is Hayden Huff. And that's going to make it a 1-0 ball game. Runners at the corners with 2 outs here on the top of the first. The Grizzlies strike first. Mark Kirkland, big guy, went first to third on that base hit in the right field. The throw hit the cutoff man, wasn't quite able to make it home. The Grizzlies now lead the Bombers 1-0. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Jason Doran. First pitch breaking ball doesn't hit the zone, 1-0. Fastball from Wheel doesn't quite catch the zone. 2-0 now to Doran. So it seemed like Wheel was building some momentum there. He was able to get 2 outs in the same sequence of an at-bat. But now he has worked himself into a jam. Runner to first and third. Here's the pitch. Fastball runs inside, and it's fouled off by Doran. 2-1 now. Doran waving that two-tone red and black bat. Here's the pitch. Fastball. The runner takes off, and Mark Kirkland's going to come home to score. Mark Kirkland with some heads-up base running. Didn't seem like the double steal was on. But Connor Hennings at first took off. He stole the bag easily. The throw went over to second. So that'll go as a steal of home for Mark Kirkland. There's no wild pitch on that play. That pitch was high, so right now it's 3-1 to Doran. Fastball does not catch the zone, so it's going to be another walk. Doran reaches. So it is now 2-0. Grizzly leading the Bombers here in the top of the first. 2 outs. Second walk of the day and second walk of the top of the first here for Wheel. So now he'll face off against the catcher, Irvin Bounds. First pitch fastball does not catch the zone. Boy, you got to get that fastball command in there now before things start to get out of hand. This is what this summer league is for, readjusting to learning how to work ahead to batters again. Being able to throw that first pitch strike makes things so much easier on the mound. Another fastball misses the zone, 2-0. Hennings is at second. He singled, stole the base. And then Jason Doran was just walked to fill the hole at first. The 2-0 fastball gets in there, 2-1. The 2-1 from Wheel is fouled off on the first baseline and out of play. Irvin Bounds from Victor Valley College. 5'11", 190. Good size for a catcher. The next pitch is swung on and missed, and that is caught. Did not hit the dirt, so that'll go to strikeout, and that'll end the inning, but not before the Grizzlies strike for 2 runs. We're heading to the bottom of the first. Grizzly leading the Bombers 2-0. back for the bottom of the first. It'll be the Bombers' first time around in the lineup. They'll be facing off against Harrison Nation from the Grizzly. Lineup for the Bombers goes like this. Matthew Gonzalez will be leading off. He's the shortstop. Nick Schnapp is batting second. He's the center fielder today. The second baseman, Deshaun Johnson, batting third. Vinny Alfino, the catcher, batting fourth. Gary Peralta, the first baseman, batting fifth. Alex Betancourt, the third baseman, he's batting sixth. Batting seventh is the left fielder, Brandon Brown. Right fielder, Justice Lucas, batting eighth. Batting ninth is Brandon Smith, the DH. Batting 10th is the extra hitter, Robert Blaschke. So again, they're facing off against Harrison Nation out of Colorado Christian University. Right-hander's on the mound now, and he's about ready to work out of the windup. Here he comes, long over the head, windup. First pitch fastball misses inside to Gonzalez, 1-0. Harrison Nation, a local from Indio, California, out of Shadow Hills High School. Graduated in 2018. 1-0 pitch bounces in the dirt. Nation's 2-0. Another fastball rides inside. So he's fallen way behind Matthew Gonzalez here. He's down 3-0. Harrison Nation in the stirrups. His 3-0 pitch barely catches the zone. Gonzalez tossed the bat, expecting ball 4 to be called. That'll be in there for a strike. 3-1 now to Gonzalez. I'll tell you a little bit more about Harrison Nation, but no nose for me anymore. Laptop overheated. That pitch is squibbed up to the pitcher's mound. Nation takes it, and he'll field it, throw it over to Mark Kirkland at first base. And that'll retire Matthew Gonzalez, so he falls behind 3-0, is able to work the soft ground out. That'll go 1-3. First out here in the bottom of the first, Nick Schnapp up at the bat. Let's take a glance at the gloves here for the Grizzly. From left to right, you got Chris Aguilar out in left field, Connor Hennings in center, Jude Luttrell in right. Macias at third, Huff at shortstop, Jason Doran at second, Mark Kirkland at first. Irvin Bounds behind the plate. Here's the first pitch from Nation. Another fastball high, counts 1-0 to Schnapp. I'm sure that overheating technology is going to be a common theme out here in Palm Springs. Not the coolest of places, but we got guys out here that are workhorses, ready to work in any kind of conditions. Breaking ball doesn't catch the zone, 2-0 to Schnapp. Schnapp in the right-handed batter's box. Staring down Harrison Nation. Here's the 2-0s. That's foul tipped. And that's going to get a piece of the catcher, Irvin Bounds. He groans, and he's going to go down to one knee. Looks like it might have caught him on the thigh. And oh man, our catcher's tough. Bounds tells the umpire he's okay. He's going to do a few lunges. Work out the knots. He gives the thumbs up to the umpire, and we're going to continue the at-bat. Glad to see Irvin's okay. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Nation to Schnapp. That one's fouled off, laced back and out of play. So 2-2 now to Nick Schnapp, the center fielder. Again, if you're just joining us, the Grizzly took the lead 2-0 in the top of the first. The Bombers looking to answer back with one out here in the bottom. That pitch is waved on and missed. That's the first strikeout of the day for Harrison Nation. Really good breaking ball. So 2 outs now. That'll bring up the second baseman, Deshaun Johnson. One of the many players here in the PSCL that spent time with the Power roster. Deshaun started last night for the Power in their victory over the Saints. Sure, he wouldn't mind getting to be able to play 2 games today. 30-game season, got to make the most of it. Breaking ball's in there, called strike. 0-1 to Deshaun Johnson. So Nation fell behind 3-0 to Gonzalez, was able to work a 3-1 count and induced a ground ball. Fell behind 2-0 to Schnapp. Was able to work it back to 2-2 and then struck him out. So now he's got his first pitch strike. Here's the 0-1 to Johnson. Breaking ball on the dirt, counts 1-1. Starting to see more pitchers year by year, season by season, summer by summer, start to wear stirrups on the mound, which I feel is more of an old school thing, but guys, I know many guys don't like the cleats getting in on the pants. You got the ones that have the elastic at the bottom. That pitch misses, 2-1. As a former baseball player myself, I can attest to the sentiment that the worst thing the worst thing you can imagine on the mound is one more thing that can trip you up. Whether it be the shoelaces, we've seen guys go down tripping over those, or whether it's on the dirt of the mound. He holds up. Actually, no, they'll appeal down to first base. They'll say that Deshaun Johnson wins, so that'll even up the count, 2-2. Good breaking ball locked up Johnson halfway in the middle of his swing. So Johnson will take a step out of the batter's box, regain consciousness. The 2-2 bounces at about 58 feet. So that'll be a full count now to Johnson. You know, for Nation here, this is a good test. First full count. You know, Deshaun Johnson's getting to see really good ABs, and a lot of them splitting time between the PSCL and the Power. And he's worked it full here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. The break even from Nation is grounded up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. So a really good approach at the plate there for Johnson, who was called on a check swing. Evened up the count and then brought it to 3-2. Grounded one up the middle past Nation's bare hand. He stuck one up just to see if he might be able to catch it. But it gets through, and Johnson's at first base. That'll bring up the catcher, Vinny Alfino. Grizzly leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Now working out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Alfino. Fastball in the zone, 0-1. You know, it's not exactly how you write it up. The first batter that you get ahead of, your first pitch strike, ends up working the count full and gets a base hit up the middle on the payoff. Next pitch, fastball high, throw down to first, not in time. 1-1 to Vinny Alfino. Tell you what, my Mac is still sweating and huffing and puffing. Still overheating a bit. Such is the norm. You know, this is not the hottest it's going to get, but right now I think the main issues that we have the sun beating down nearly on the press box and mostly on home plate. That'll move behind. That pitch is swung on and missed. Counts 1-2 now to Alfino. At some point in this first or second game today here in the PSCL, the sun's going to tuck behind the press box, alleviating some of our overheating issues here, and also definitely giving a little bit more cover for these players on the field. Good thing about summer baseball, we're not afraid for a delay for water. Give these guys some time to get out of the sun if they need to. Breaking ball is dropped by the catcher, Irvin Bounds. He'll make the throw to first, and that's going to end the inning here. Roma's on first, so he didn't need to make the throw, but he does it anyways just to lock it up. So a runner, Deshaun Johnson reaches on a single with 2 outs, but nothing doing here in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the top of the second. The Grizzlies still leading the Bombers 2-0. We're in the top of the second. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to Power TV. A little bit of PSCL action here on this Saturday morning in Palm Springs. The Grizzlies are going to step up for their second inning of work at the plate, still facing off against the right-hander Ian Wheel from the Bombers. Digging in first to the right-hand batter's box is Ethan Rosario. He'll take a first pitch breaking ball that doesn't quite hit the zone. 1-0. Rosario out of Whitworth University. That pitch is grounded to third. A great stop by Alex Betancourt. He makes a throw over to first, and that is a beautiful play to start off the top of the second inning. Alex Betancourt made a diving stop to his right, was able to get to a knee and throw over to the first baseman Gary Peralta to retire Ethan Rosario. Man, I feel like we had a conversation yesterday about these third basemen here in the PSCL. Fantastic gloves, even better arms. Ethan Rosario returns the first batter, and now Chris Aguilar swings through the first pitch from Wheel. Counts 0-1. Boy, oh boy, we've seen a lot of 5-3 putouts here in the first few games at Palm Springs Stadium in the PSCL. That pitch is chopped to short. Gonzalez handles it and throws over to first for the second out of the inning. So Wheel has worked himself into 2 outs, inducing 2 ground balls. The 6-3 putouts can bring out the 10th batter, Jake Biscaluz. Biscaluz is serving as the extra hitter today. He's also had a few games at catcher. He started the first game of the season for the Power. Here he is in the 10th hole. First pitch from Wheel hits the zone. Good fastball. It gets ahead of Biscaluz 0-1. Biscaluz out of St. Bonaventure University. Go Bonnies. The 0-1 Skidders in the dirt. So that'll even it at 1. Biscaloos from Valencia, California, attended Valencia High School. The 1-1 is in the zone. So now it's 1-2 to Biscaloos. After going deep in a few counts in the top of the first, Wheel has worked himself to a 2-strike count with 2 outs and less than 10 pitches. That pitch is chopped back behind the plate and foul. Man, love seeing some enthusiasm from the Bombers bench to get that baseball. You know, in these kind of conditions, guys could get really worn out. We're here in the 3rd game of the season. Seems like guys are pretty excited to be here. 1-2 breaking ball. Doesn't quite break. It's 2-2 now to Biscaloos. But on that point, I think I saw Hunter Holmes and not sure who else, in a race for the baseball back behind home plate. That pitch is skied back behind home plate. Alfino's going to give chase, but he can't get to it. That's in the stands. We've got a modest crowd here this morning. A lot of people with umbrellas. We got an easy up 10 out here, a pavilion. 2-2 to Biscaloos is chopped to third base. Actually, the shortstop is going to try to handle it, but he can't come up with it. So that's going to go as a base hit. That one rolls slowly to short past the glove of Alex Betancourt at third. And even if Matthew Gonzalez, the shortstop, was able to handle it, looked like Biscaloos was going to be at first anyways. So that'll be another base hit. The 3rd hit given up. Pardon, the 4th hit given up by Wheel. So Biscaloos is at first. That'll flip the lineup card over to Jude Luttrell. He had the first hit, led off the top of the first with a single. First pitch, fastball, strike. Wheel has now thrown a first pitch strike to 4 straight batters. Here in the top of the 2nd. 0-1 breaking ball catches the outside corner. A beautiful paint job. The lefty Luttrell didn't have much to do about that one. So now quickly, Wheel is ahead of Luttrell with 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 2nd, here's the 0-2, and he goes down swinging. So a 2-out base runner reaches. Biscaloos singled, but nothing doing again here. Ian Wheel gets his 2nd punch out of the day, and we're going to head to the bottom of the 2nd. The Grizzly still leading the Bombers 2-0. Bombers up to bat here in the bottom of the second. Gary Peralta's going to dig to the right-hand batter's box. The first baseman, he'll face off against Harrison Nation in his second inning of work. The Grizzly are leading the Bombers 2-0. Well, luckily now, I've been able to give my laptop some cover, and I can tell you a little bit more about Harrison Nation as he starts working from the windup against Peralta. His first pitch is shot back behind the plate. That's a foul ball. So Harrison Nation, mentioned before, from Colorado Christian University, local kid from NDO, went to Shadow Hills High School and graduated in 2018. A rising junior at Colorado Christian. His next pitch to Peralta is an excuse me swing. That tips off the bat. Wasn't quite trying to swing there, but he's going to go down quickly 0-2. Peralta from Johnson and Wales University. 6'4", 225. That's a first baseman if I ever seen one. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball chopped to second base. Dorn's going to handle it. He makes the easy throw over to first to retire Peralta. One out here in the bottom of the second. You know, you see that type of at-bat and that type of result, a lazy ground ball to second, you would think that Harrison Nation is a guy that wants to pitch contact, but no, he had 2 strikeouts in the first. The second which retired the side. So 1 out now. That'll bring up third baseman Alex Betancourt. First pitch to Betancourt is also grounded to first base. Mark Herkel's going to take it himself. He steps on the first base bag, and they're quickly 2 out here in the bottom of the second. 3 unassisted. Easy work here for Harrison Nation. This season, Colorado Christian Nation posted 15 innings, had 11 Ks. Pretty good ratio. He already has 2 through 1 2/3 today. We'll see how he does against left fielder Brandon Brown. Brown steps into the left-hand batter's box. Also worth mentioning that Harrison Nation also formerly played for the College of the Desert. His first pitch to Brown is a breaking ball that doesn't hit the zone. Brandon Brown from Cal State San Marcos, a native of Gardena, California. Went to Hawthorne High School. Next pitch is in there. Good fastball evens the count 1-1. Brown formerly played at West LA College. One fastball is a bit high. 2-1 now to Brown. Next pitch, fastball is in the dirt. 3-1 now to Brown. So get this, Harrison Nation actually streams MLB The Show on Twitch. Now for some of our viewers at home, that might sound like a foreign language. MLB The Show being a franchise baseball video game, and Twitch being a streaming platform that anybody can join. Brandon Brown's going to join the first base bag. He draws a walk. That's the first walk allowed by Harrison Nation. So there'll be a runner on first, 2 outs for Justice Lucas, another one of these guys that splits time with the power, playing right field today. Brown takes the lead at first. First pitch to Lucas is a big hack, nothing out of it. Counts 0-1 now. Justice Lucas out of Faulkner University from Destin, Florida. Went to Fort Walton Beach High School. Graduated in 2018. The big guy stands in there. Brandon Brown is taking off, but the throw sails, so he'll be in there safely. That's a stolen bag for Brandon Brown. Brown testing the arm of the catcher, Irvin Bounds. Harrison Nation tells Hayden Huff and Jason Doran, the middle infielders, to clear off the bag. He doesn't need to hold him on. He wants to finish Lucas right here. Pitch to Lucas is in the dirt. Brandon Brown takes off, and he's going to get to third without a throw. That's going to be a pass ball that got in and out of the glove of Irvin Bounds. So now there's a runner at third with 2 outs here. Grizzly still leading 2-0. The pitch to Lucas is a breaking ball, slap back to the screen. One-two count now on Lucas. Harrison Nation has his right arm dangling in the stretch, now comes to the belt. Brandon Brown at third. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is juiced down the left field line, and I mean juiced. That hit the batting cages out there past the stands on the third baseline, but it's much foul. Lucas a little bit ahead of that breaking ball, but boy, did he get a hold of it. Lucas, a big guy, 6'7", 255. Plenty of power in that bat. We've yet to see a homer here at Palm Springs Stadium. We've had a couple over at the turf field across the way. Here's the 1-2 from Nation. Gets past the catcher, Irvin Bounds. Brandon Brown is going to come in to score. So that's going to cut the lead from 2. Grizzly now leading the Bombers 2-1. Brandon Brown scores on the pass ball. So the count is 2-2 to Lucas. Nation work from the windup again. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The catcher Bounds gives Lucas a tag on the back. And that'll end the inning. Not before the Bombers score a run. 2 pass balls and a stolen base allow Brandon Brown to score. The Grizzly now lead the Bombers 2-1, heading to the top of the third. Ian Wheels back on the mound for the Bombers here in the top of the third. The Grizzly leading 2-1 now. The Bombers were able to get a run back there. Brandon Brown stole second base and advanced to third and home on a pass ball. First pitch to Hayden Huff. It's a breaking ball, doesn't catch the zone. 1-0. Fastball in the dirt. Falls behind 2-0 to Hayden Huff. He singled and scored his first time up. Came in on that opposite field single by Connor Hennings. Next pitch, fastball. That'll sail high. 3-0 now to Huff. The Grizzlies so far have used that gap between the first and second baseman, Johnson and Peralta, a good bit. They've also used walks. That's the third walk of the day for Wheel. So Huff reaches base for the second time today. That'll bring up Michael Macias. He popped out to the first baseman in foul territory his first time up. Throw back over to first, not in time. Next pitch to Macias is in the dirt. Michael Macias goes by Mike. Fastball in the zone, 1-1. Macias with long hair. Another throw back to first. Field umpire says that he got back in time. Huff takes his lead at first. Breaking ball doesn't catch the zone. It's going to be 2-1 to Macias. Boy, Macias is locked in. He takes 1 second out of the batter's box and digs back in. Out of the stretch. The pitch is grounded up the middle. Gonzalez is going to bobble the ball short, and there's going to be no play. So that's going to go as an E6. First error by the Bombers infielders. Matthew Gonzalez tried to come to his left up the middle. It looked like it nearly bounced off of the bag, but he wasn't able to come up with it. Not able to retire either man at first or second and a force out. So we'll have runners at first and second, no outs here in the top of the third. Now the first pitch to Mark Kirkland is skied foul. Third baseman Bedcourt chasing. He'll go to the fence but can't quite reach it. Hayden Huff's at second. He walked. Macias reached first on an error by the shortstop, Matthew Gonzalez. Mark Kirkland in the left-hand batter's box. Next pitch, a good breaking ball caught the outside corner. Bob Ross special. No mistakes, just happy accidents. 0-2 count now to Kirkland. Kirkland had a .305 batting average in limited action this year at the University of Redlands. The 0-2 pitch to him is skied into left center. Brown giving chase, and he'll make the catch. Runner at second, Huff fakes that as if he's going to go to third, but retreats back to the second base bag. So there'll be one out here in the top of the third. That brings up Connor Hennings. He singled and had an RBI in the first inning. Looks like we're going to get a new shortstop. Maybe Matthew Gonzalez is feeling the heat. Could have caused that mistake with the glove. 2 plays ago. Number 3, Connor Lang, is going to come into play short. Won't know if that lasts, but we're open to substitutions. We completely understand guys wanting to get out of this heat. First pitch is in there to Connor Hennings. It's 0-1. Ian Wheel is working ahead well with that breaking ball. It's catching the zone, maybe even more than his fastball. Still runners at first and second. One out here in the top of the third. The Grizzly lead the Bombers 2-1. Next pitch, another good breaking ball, swung on and missed, 0-2. Next pitch, swung on and missed. Runners are going to advance to second and third. They make the throw to second, but it's bobbled by this second baseman, Deshaun Johnson. Not sure what the thought was there, but they tried to cut him down. Runner at first is going to be out on the strikeout. Third strikeout of the day for Ian Wheel. So now 2 runners in the scoring position. That brings up the second baseman, Jason Doran. First pitch to him, fastball, rides high and tight. Counts 1-0 to Doran. He walked his first time up. Next pitch from Wheel is a good breaking ball, but doesn't quite hit the zone. 2-0 now to Doran. Fastball misses the zone. So quickly 3-0 here. Two outs, Hayden Huff on third, Macias on second. See if he has the green light. That's going to be fastball straight down the middle, 3-1 to Doran. Another called strike, 3-2. So Wheel falls behind 3-0. He works it back to a payoff pitch. From the stretch, here it is. Breaking ball does not quite hit the zone. He was looking for that inside corner on the right-handed hitter, but just did not get the call. That'll be the 4th walk of the day for Ian Wheel. And the bases are loaded now for the catcher, Irvin Bounds. He struck out his first time up. First pitch to Bounds is a check swing. He went. Counts 0-1 now. From the stretch, the next pitch by Wheel doesn't hit the zone. Fastball rode outside. Counts 1-1. Wheel, good breaking ball again. Counts 1-2 now to Bounds. Great to see him throwing that off speed for a strike. We'll see what he decides to go with here. The 1-2 pitch with the bases loaded is a called strike 3. Breaking ball caught the outer half of the zone and he gets rung up. Irvin Bounds sits down. He'll be the 3rd out of the top of the 3rd. Huge opportunity to score missed by the Grizzly. They still lead the Bombers 2-1. We're heading to the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third. Grizzly leading 2-1. Big chance for some insurance runs squandered there by the Grizzly. Left the bases loaded in the top half of the third. Now in the bottom half, Harrison Nation's going to come back to the mound to face off against the 9, 10, and 1 hitters. That's right, 10 hitters. If you haven't joined us for PSCL action, there's an extra hitter. Right now, the 9th hitter, the D8, Brandon Smith, is up. Here's the first pitch from Nation. Fastball's in the dirt, counts 1-0. Brandon Smith from College of the Desert. Local kid, plenty of guys from out in this area here in Palm Springs playing for the PSCL. Next pitch, breaking ball, big fan, a miss. We've seen very, very, very good off-speed stuff from both pitchers today. Both Wheel and Nation are throwing that pitch for called strikes and swinging strikes. Batters haven't quite caught up to it yet. Next pitch is in the dirt, 2-1. Like the look that Brandon Smith has going on today, a pure white helmet with the white pants, yellow tops, white and black stirrups, white cleats. I'm all about the aesthetics in baseball with the uniform. Here's the 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed. The 2-2. Brandon Smith calls time. Took a little bit too long. Standoff, stare down. Working from the windup. Here's the 2-2 from Nation. It squibbed off the bat handle. Skitters over into the Grizzly dugout or on the first base side. So we'll do it again. 2-2 here. Harrison Nation nearly pulled the string there. Maybe an inch lower. That might have been his fourth strikeout of the day, but instead it's a 3-2 count to Brandon Smith. Working quickly from the windup. Here's the 3-2 foul back to the screen. Payoff pitch is nubbed down the first baseline. Mark Kirkland's going to hand it over to Harrison Nation covering first. That'll be a 3-1 put out for the first out here at the bottom of the third. Well, we've seen the best of both worlds with Harrison Nation's out distribution here today. That's the fourth ground out of the game. He also has 3 strikeouts to boot. So now he'll face off against the lefty hitter, Robert Blaschke. He's the extra hitter, batting 10th today. First pitch to Blaschke's outside. Fastball doesn't hit the zone. 1-0. Grizzly leading 2-1. We're in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Blaschke. Swung on and missed. Boy, oh boy, that is becoming a wipeout pitch. Big looping curveball. Not even having to touch the dirt with it. Just so far been unhittable. And if a lefty can't see it, I'm not sure if anyone can. Here's the 1-1 to Blaschke. Change up in the dirt. Bombers haven't offered much of that changeup. Induced, I think, 1 ground ball out of it, but nothing else has come so far. The 2-1 swung on and missed. Big hack and nothing coming out of it. Blaschke calls time. Stares at his bat. Two balls, 2 strikes. That pitch is swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Harrison Nation. That's his 4th of the day. Good fastball got by Blaschke in a hurry. So we'll flip the lineup card back to the top of the lineup, and now Connor Lang is going to bat. He came in at shortstop last inning. Seems like Matthew Gonzalez was getting tormented by the heat a good bit, so he's going to sub out in favor of Lang. First pitch to Lang is in the dirt. To Lang, misses the zone. 2-0. Well, I'll tell you what, we've seen 3 mornings here in Palm Springs for the PSCL games, and this is probably the most favorable of conditions we've had so far. We had record-setting heat the other day, touched 123. That's a new California record in the month of June all time. Fastball in there, 2-1, not a Lang. I'll tell you, as a guy from Georgia, we know our fair bit about the heat. That heat also comes with the humidity. Fastball sails past the glove of the catcher, earning bounds. 3-1 out of Lang. Guys out here on the field have seemingly quickly adjusted to that heat. A lot of guys from the local area, so they know a lot about it. But don't be surprised if some of these guys that come from across the country to play for the Palm Springs Power and PSCL take a while to adjust, maybe shows in the play. The 3-1 pitch, fastball misses. So that'll be another base on balls allowed by Harrison Nation, his second. So Lang heads to first. That brings up the center fielder, Nick Schnapp. He struck out his first time up. Umpire's going to take a water break, and it looks like there's going to be a discussion on the mound with Harrison Nation. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Grizzly leading 2-1. Nation has been good so far. The only run allowed on a stolen base and 2 passed balls. No RBI knocks so far for the Bombers. Bombers struggling offensively here in the early season. Coming into today, they only played 1 game. They played on opening day and sat yesterday, but combined 3 for 22 at the plate back on Thursday's opening day. They have 1 hit so far against Harrison Nation. And home plate umpire calls time. Give a chance for the field umpire to get back in position, and we're about ready to resume play here in the bottom of the third. So Nick Schnapp, center fielder, steps in. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. It's in the dirt, 1-0. Nation's fastball sails high, 2-0. So it's not very often you come to the ballpark or watch a game and you see a shortstop coming in the middle of the inning without an injury barring, but that's the reality we're in here. We're all, doing what we can to make sure that players and coaches and staff and umpires are comfortable in this heat. Pitch misses, is 3-0 out of Schnapp. We've seen middle of the inning delays for water. We've seen middle inning substitutions, courtesy runners. Haven't seen an at-bat paused for the heat. Most of these guys want to get their at-bats. That one is crushed down the left field line, and that's down for a base hit. Schnapp is rounding second. Lang heading around third. He is going to score. The Bombers are going to tie the Grizzly here in the bottom of the third. It's now 2-2 on the RBI double by Nick Schnapp. Lang goes from first to home on that play. Loud ringing double down the left field line. Chris Aguilar gave chase, was able to stop it from becoming a 3-bagger, but that got all the way into the corner by the 350 sign. So that's going to be the end of the line for Harrison Nation. He leaves after surrendering 2 runs. So the Grizzly are going to turn to a new arm here in the bottom of the third with 2 outs, runner on second. And we'll be back with the name of that new arm in just a second. So the new arm for the Grizzly is going to be the left-hander Justin Ruthroff. Facing off against Deshaun Johnson, that pitch is fouled off down the right field line and out of play. Deshaun Johnson in the right-hand batter's box. Sidearm throw to him is outside of the zone. 1-1 now to Johnson. We're in the bottom of the third, 2 outs. There's a runner on second. That's Nick Schnapp. He doubled in Connor Lang to tie the game here at 2-2. Next pitch to Johnson is a fastball inside, doesn't catch the zone. 2-1 now. Johnson singled his last time up in the first. Next pitch from the lefty, Ruthroff is in the dirt. 3-1 out of Johnson. By the way, the final line for Harrison Nation, starter for the Grizzlies, 2 2/3. He's responsible for the runner on second right now. Faced 12 batters, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits, and 2 earned runs. Ruthroff will try to keep it from coming 3. His next pitch is lined up into center field. That's going to allow Deshaun Johnson to score. The throw comes into the pitcher, but there will be no throw to home. That'll be an RBI single for Deshaun Johnson. So now make that 3 earned runs on Harrison Nation's credit for today. And now the Bombers have taken the lead, coming back over the Grizzlies 3-2. Big time go-ahead single there from Deshaun Johnson. He knows a lot about big at-bats. He and the Power having multiple yesterday in a grinded out 9-inning game versus the Saints. Ruthroff now faces Vinny Alfino, the catcher. He struck out his first time up. First pitch to him is a ball, counts 1-0. Next pitch is fouled down the third baseline softly. Third baseman Macias will have no play. Counts 1-1 now to Alfino. Next pitch is grounded to short. Shortstop Hayden Huff makes the toss over to the second baseman Jason Doran, and that'll end the third inning. But not before the Bombers come back to take the lead over the Grizzly 3-2. We're heading to the top of the fourth. We're in the top of the fourth. The Grizzly are up to bat, facing off against a new right-hander for the Bombers. That's Brandon Goodpaster. Goodpaster out of College of the Desert, one of many on this Bombers roster. He'll face off against the DH, Ethan Rosario, to lead off the fourth. First pitch from Goodpaster is a high fastball, doesn't catch the zone, 1-0. Rosario grounded out at third base, a great play by Alex Betancourt. Retired him. That was back in the second inning. Next pitch misses, 2-0. That pitch misses the zone. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk. Excuse me, that's going to be a hit by pitch. Looks like it might have clipped him near the elbow guard. So Ethan Rosario heads to first on a hit by pitch. Couldn't tell if that popping sound came from the catcher's mitt or from Ethan Rosario. That pitch is skied behind the outfield grass. Shortstop Connor Lang makes the catch. That'll be the first out here on the top of the fourth. The Bombers lead the Grizzly 3-2. They took the lead on RBI single in the last half inning. Deshaun Johnson coming through for the yellow and black. So one out now in the fourth. Jake Biscaluz steps to the plate. First pitch breaking ball in the dirt. 1-0 to Biscaluz, the extra hitter today. He singled his first time up back in the second. Goodpaster working from stretch. Next pitch breaking ball misses the zone. Skitters away from the catcher, Vinny Alfino, but nothing doing. Another pitch in the dirt. The runner's taking off to second. He's going to get in there. The throw gets away, but not too far into center field. So Ethan Rosario steals second base. And that's going to be another walk. Biscaluz reaches first. First walk of the game for Goodpaster. Allows Biscaluz to reach first. There'll be runners on first and second for Jude Luttrell. He's singled and struck out. There's actually a new catcher in the game for the Bombers now. Number 18, Tyler Richardson. Saw him the other day facing off against the Lumberjacks here in Palm Springs Stadium. First pitch to Luttrell misses, 1-0. Do not blame a catcher for wanting to get out of this seat. They got the most gear on outside of the umpires. That pitch is grounded foul down the first baseline. Runners have to come back. Jude Luttrell, once again from Wabash Valley College. His junior college was ranked number 1 in the 2021 National Junior College Athletics Association D1 preseason rankings this season. He's an important piece to that lineup, and here he is leading off for the Grizzly. Next pitch sails high. Next pitch is skied down the left field line, out of play. Two fastball misses high. Now it's full. Jude Luttrell. Ethan Rosario is at second. He was hit by a pitch and stole a bag. Jake Biscoe is at first. He walked. Pitch to Luttrell is guided into right field. Justice Lucas giving chase. It's going to get past him. All three runners are moving. Looks like Luttrell's going to head into second. Coming in to score is Ethan Rosario. Jake Biscoe is going to hold up at third. That's going to be an RBI double. We have a tie game now. A hard chase for the right fielder, Justice Lucas, and Jude Luttrell just put that one in a good gap. Grizzly and Bombers tied 3-3 now. That brings Hayden Huff, shortstop, up to the plate. He singled and scored and walked. Right-handed hitter faces off against Goodpaster. Runners at second and third. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1 to Huff. Goodpaster sets at the belt. Here's the pitch. That one is lined down the right field line and down. A base hit. Hayden Huff comes through. Two runners are going to come in to score. And the Grizzly have taken the lead again. It is now 5-3 Grizzly here in the top of the fourth. 2 RBI single there for Hayden Huff to the opposite field. And we have gone back and forth. Two lead changes now in the last half of an inning. First pitch to Macias is grounded down the third baseline. There is still only one out here in the top of the fourth. Grizzly leading 5-3. Brandon Goodpaster came in this inning. He has hit a batter. He has walked a batter. And then allowed a double and a single. 3 runs have scored. Now he's facing off with the heart of the Grizzly lineup. Next pitch to Macias is in the dirt. Catcher Richardson faked the throw to first. One and one now to Macias. Breaking ball swung on, missed. Throw goes down to second. They've got Hayden Huff trying to steal. So Hayden Huff's going to be retired for the second out of the inning. He didn't get as good of a jump as he probably could have. Even with the breaking ball, he was still caught by that strong arm of Tyler Richardson. So 2 out now in the top of the fourth. The bases are now clear. breaking ball hammered down the left field line, but it'll reach the seats. Man, we have seen some good breaking balls, but some of these are getting left a little bit too high in the zone, and we have seen some early swings resulting in loud and long foul balls. Another breaking ball. That's going to catch Michael Macias looking to end the inning, but not before the Grizzlies strike back and score 3. They've taken the lead 5-3. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Lefty Justin Ruthroff into the game for his first full inning of work. He'll face off against the heart of the lineup for the Bombers. New catcher in the game for the Grizzly, that's Jake Biscaloo. He was the extra hitter. He's subbed in now for Irvin Bounds. Also a new shortstop for the Grizzly, that's J.R. Freethy. And for Hayden Huff at shortstop. The lefty Ruthroff faces off against a new pinch hitter for the Bombers. That's going to be number 1, Aiden Rowan, a lefty. Next pitch called strike, quickly down 0-2. Lefty on lefty matchup. Ruthroff faces off, and that one skied into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Aiden Rowan reaches as a pinch hitter. Second hit given up by Ruthroff, and there's a batter at first. That'll bring in another pinch hitter. That'll be Brandon Dodd at the plate. Right-handed hitter facing off against Ruthroff in his first full inning of work. Aiden Rowan's at first. That pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1 now. Here's the 0-1, foul tipped. Quickly down 0-2. Brandon Dodd walked, scored a run. in their first game against the Lumberjacks. That one is chopped out to short. Throw goes to second baseman Doran. Back over to first to Kirkland. And that ball gets away from Kirkland, so it'll only be the fielder's choice. They cut down Rowan at second. Dodd's going to be in there at first. So Brandon Dodd at first. That'll bring up the left fielder Brandon Brown. Another lefty on lefty matchup. Brandon Brown scored the first run of the game for the Bombers. He came around, he stole second base, and then came home on 2 pass balls. First pitch to Brown is a called strike, 0-1. See Brown's rocking an athletic hoodie under that jersey. Can't imagine being that cold right now. That pitch misses the zone. Is 1-1 to Brown. Rothroff from the stretch. And time's called. Again, Brown from Cal State San Marcos. Pitch to him, breaking ball misses high. 2-1 now to Brown. Bats lefty, but throws right in the field. Playing left field today makes a lot of sense to me. 5'9", 170. He crushes that one down the right field line. We'll see if that stays fair. It is down, and it's going to be a ground rule double. That was a long, hard fly ball from Brandon Brown. It bounced on the warning track and bounced over the wall. That is a tall wall out there in right field. Bounced just to the left of the foul pole. So a long ground rule double for Brandon Brown. That's easily the longest hit ball we have seen in Palm Springs Stadium in the first 3 days of action in the PSCL. Still no homers. I say that as we have Justice Lucas heading to the plate, 6'5", 6'7", 255. First pitch into Lucas misses the zone, counts 1-0. Man, oh man, I wasn't sure if that one was going to be able to get out or not. It got out off of a bounce. Still figuring out how this field plays. When there's wind out here, it typically is blowing side to side on the turf field, but here it's coming straight in at the batter's box. Not much wind right now. That ball just carried for Brandon Brown. Called strike. 1-1 to Justice Lucas. He struck out his first time up back in the second. Next pitch, it hit Lucas. Slow breaking ball came in there and looks like it hit him near the wrist. Lucas is okay, but he's going to head to first base, and that loads the bases. That brings up Brandon Smith, the DH. He got a lazy grounder to first base last time up. He comes up here in a big spot. 1 out, bases loaded. Bombers are trailing right now 5-3. First pitch is swung on and missed. Brendan Dodds at third. He reached on a fielder's choice. Brandon Brown hit ground rule double. And Justice Lucas took first on a hit by pitch. And now Brandon Smith is also hit by a pitch. Breaking ball looks like a changeup ran inside and caught him near the hip. So that's going to be a run at it back for the Bombers. They now trail 5-4. Still only 1 out here. Still bases loaded. And now that's going to bring up the extra hitter, Robert Blaschke. First pitch is a called strike to Blaschke. So 2 hit by pitches in a row have soured the lead for the Grizzlies. That pitch is out, 1-1. We are in the bottom of the 4th here at Palm Springs Stadium. Next pitch from the lefty is grounded past his glove and into center field. That's going to allow Brown to score. Tripping around third is Justice Lucas. He goes to his derriere. He'll make it back to third base. So the bases remain loaded. No outs on that play. That'll be an RBI single for Robert Blaschke. So a big-time jam here for the Grizzly. They're going to have to bear down and see if they can get an out here. It is now a tie game here in the bottom of the 4th, tied 5-5. Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch to Connor Lang, the shortstop, is fouled off back to the screen. 0-1. Lang subbed in the middle of an inning. At shortstop, came up the next at-bat, walked and scored a run. The righty faces off against Ruth Roth, the lefty. Next pitch is a called strike. He's quickly down 0-2. Justice Lucas is at third. He reached on a hit by pitch. Brendan Smith at second. He was also hit. And Robert Blaschke reached first with an RBI single. That pitch is outside, 1-2. That pitch is slowly grounded up the middle. Shortstop Freethy's going to take it, send it to first to Mark Kirkland, and that'll retire the side, but not before we have a tie game here at Palm Springs Stadium. The Bombers come back to tie this one 5-5. We're heading to the top of the 5th. Grizzly up to bat. Brandon Goodpass returns for his second inning of work, facing off against the Grizzlies lineup. We have a tie game here in the top of the 5th, 5-5. The lefty Mark Kirkland is up to bat versus Goodpaster. Kirkland has walked and scored a run. Ended up going as a stolen base when he stole home. That pitch is grounded to second base. Deshaun Johnson handles it, throws it over to first, where Justice Lucas has taken over. And on to retire Kirkland. 4-3 put out brings up Connor Hennings. He has an RBI single and a strikeout to his name today. I'll get to the name of the new right fielder in just a second. First pitch of the ball. Next pitch called strike. 1-1. Good passer working quickly. His next pitch is fastball, misses low. 2-1 now. Pardon, we have another pinch hitter here. Instead of Connor Hennings, it's going to be Antonio Cruz. So Cruz is ahead 2-1 against Goodpaster. That pitch, big breaking ball, was tapped down the third baseline, but foul. So that even to count 2-2. Five all here in the top of the fifth. Goodpaster working against Antonio Cruz. Next pitch runs in and hits him. Caught him on the shoulder. Cruz makes it over at first base. No bad blood. That's the second hit by pitch by Brandon Goodpaster. The first one came around to score. We'll see how he handles this one. That'll bring up the second baseman, Jason Doran. He's walked twice. Nothing came out of it. Cruz takes his lead at first. Goodpaster from the stretch. First pitch of Doran's in there for a called strike, 0-1. He leans in, checks the runner at first, sets at the chest. The 0-1 is fouled back and out of play. Doran's quickly down 0-2. Doran awaits the 0-2. Here it is. A breaking ball doesn't catch the zone. 1-2. Antonio Cruz is at first base. He was hit by a pitch. It's got the oven mitt on the right hand. That one's grounded shortstop. Lang cannot come up with the ball. That is going to be an E6 to allow Jason Doran to reach base. He had that one in the glove and it got away from him. So an error allows Doran to come in. That'll bring up another pinch hitter. That'll be J.J. Ingman. Ingman in the right-handed batter's box. He has runners on first and second. One out here in the top of the fifth. First pitch fastball called strike, 0-1. This game is tied currently 5-5 in the fifth. Next pitch is chopped to short. It's going to be another chance for Lang. He flips to second. Over to first to Lucas, and that is going to retire the side. So Connor Lang makes up for the previous mistake. The E6 turns into a double play that ends the inning. We're heading to the bottom of the fifth. Still tied 5-5. in the bottom of the fifth now. Justin Ruthroff comes in for another inning of work. He'll face off against pinch hitter. That's number 7, Mason Daniels. First pitch of Daniels missed the zone, 1-0. That's chopped out to second. Doran handles it. He'll make the throw over to first base. Just barely got him. Mason Daniels was blazing down the first baseline, and Doran took his sweet time, nearly missed it. Boy, oh boy, you don't see that too many times. An infield single to the second baseman. Nevertheless, Daniels is retired. That'll be the first out here in the bottom of the fifth. That brings up Deshaun Johnson, the second baseman. He's singled twice, has an RBI. First pitch to him is down low. Next one swung on and missed. Evens the count 1-1 to Johnson. Next pitch chopped down the third baseline, foul. Johnson came into this game batting .500. Only one game played. 1 for 2 in that first game. He's got 2 hits here today and an RBI to his credit. Next pitch fastball misses. 2-2 now. By the way, those stats from the first game in the PSCL, you may recognize Deshaun Johnson. As we mentioned before, he's one of these guys that split time with the Palm Springs Power. Next pitch breaking ball doesn't hit the zone. Now it's full to Johnson. That's the second full count he's worked today. The first time in the first inning, he worked a payoff pitch. He was able to take it to the opposite field for a base hit. Next pitch from the lefty, Ruthroff misses. That's going to be a walk. That's the first walk surrendered by Ruthroff. He's given up 2 runs. He's hit 2 batters, but that is the first base on balls allowed by the lefty. We're going to have a quick talk on the mound, and the baseball is going to be taken from Ruthroff. We've talked a lot about the leash here in the PSCL. Got to think that Grizzlies head coach Joey Notch was liking what he saw even when he gave up those runs, because the 2 hit by pitches, you know, sometimes you just can't avoid that one of your, if the command's leaking, but giving up a walk there to lead off, or giving up a walk there with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. They're going to replace him with a new arm. We'll get you that name in just a second. It'll be Tyler Richardson up to bat versus the new pitcher for the Grizzly. We're still working on that name. Some guys changing out jerseys still for the third day. That ball gets past the new third baseman. Landon White came in this inning as a defensive substitution. That'll be a base hit for Tyler Richardson. And there's runners at first and second with one out. Aiden Rowan stepping up to the plate. He singled his first time up. That pitch is skied to the shortstop, Freethy. He's going to take care of it for the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up the righty, Brandon Dodd. He reached on fielder's choice and later scored last inning in the fourth. It is tied 5-5 right now. Bottom of the fifth with two outs. First pitch to Dodd. Both runners are taking off. There is no throw. They got a good jump on that pitch. Counts 1-0 to Dodd now with two runners in scoring position. A base knock could give them the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Next pitch swung on, missed. A good cut, but didn't come up with anything. Good pitch, a breaking ball hits the zone. Counts 1-2, two outs. Two runners on base at second and third, two strikes. We'll see if the Grizzly can get out of this here. Brendan Dodd waggles the bat. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball chopped out to third base. And it gets under the glove of Landon White. That's going to allow Brandon Brown to score. And that's going to be a walk-off. Looks like that'll be the end of the game here. And they're mobbing him out in between first and second base. So we didn't know it, but here we are. The bottom of the fifth has ended on a walk-off hit by Brandon Dodd. An RBI single wins the game 6-5 for the Bombers. Lots of fun being had by these guys out here. They mob them on a walk-off. 2 innings before we even thought we could be done. So we played through 5, and that'll end it here. The Bombers defeat the Grizzlies 6-5. They're heading back in the dugouts. So the losing pitcher is going to be who I believe was Cameron Gundig that came in there. Well, the switch jersey has us a little bit confused about who the losing pitcher is going to be, but we can tell you who the winner is going to be, and that's Brandon Goodpasser. Goodpasser came in and put in 2.5 innings of good work. Actually, 2 full innings of good work. He'll earn the win. And I believe it's actually Nathan Smith that just gave up that walk-off, so Nathan Smith will be the losing pitcher. Again, the Bombers walk it off here against the Grizzly. Brandon Dodd, the hero today with the RBI walk-off single. That scored Deshaun Johnson. Well, that's the end of the first game here at the PSCL. We'll have another one right for you after this. It'll be Coyotes. Yeah, it'll be the Coyotes facing off versus the Blue Sox here. Scheduled for 11:30, but we'll see what time we get coming up soon. Again, this is Sam Walters signing off. We'll see you again here in about 30 minutes.